Make sure everybody can be able to see my presentation. Raphael, if you could just let me know when that's visible.
Yes, it's visible, Mark. Perhaps you can do like a full screen of that.
Yes, I'm going to go to the, you should be able to see a full screen now.
Yes, great.
Excellent. And this is my ignorance of the meeting. Can you all see the meeting window blocks that with your picture in it right now as well? I didn't know if that was taken away from the screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, here, let me minimize that. Okay, you should have a full view now. But my organization is the Tennessee Small Business Development Center Network, and I'm housed at East Tennessee State University. What we do, there we go, is, well, excuse me, our organization is also a resource partner of the U.S. Small Business Administration. We receive our funding from them, and it's put through our lead center that's held in Murfreesboro. And then each of our host institutions with each of our offices that are attached to provides us our match funding for it. So we're a mix of federal and state dollars. We have 15 locations that are spread throughout the state. You can see each of the dots here as a representation of each of the centers that we have. But we're also a nationwide network. You can find our offices in every state and U.S. territory. One thing that I will point out is that we have our Kingsport affiliate office, which we're considered one together with. They're actually attached to the Kingsport Chamber, which is a different setup than most of our things. They're still a part of ETSU as well. But we each have counties and territories that we manage with our offices combined with Kingsport that manage 10-county territory that goes from the counties that are listed below, which is Carter, Greene, Unicoi, Washington, Johnson, Ranger, Hancock, Hawkins, Sullivan, and Hamblin counties. But the purpose of the Small Business Development Center is to provide free and confidential counseling to individuals that are looking at starting a business, as well as for existing businesses. That assistance includes, but is not limited to, helping you form your business, helping you with getting your business plan written, reviewing your business plan, and being able to wear whatever hat we need to wear to help get you to the right direction for it. A lot of folks will be using it to obtain funding, and we help with all areas of trying to assist with funding. Pursuing government contracts. We have a great relationship with the University of Tennessee's Procurement and Technical Assistance Center that is now known as APEX. We work with them regularly and have monthly webinars and where we help people get set up for government contracting. We also partnered with the Governor's Office of Diverse Businesses as well to provide certification trainings to assist in those areas. Many of you have already been through things like that. We'll assist with helping prove new business cases, planning for succession, marketing, and beyond. What we really encourage you to do is to come to us with whatever issues or questions that you're facing with your business. And if we're not able to assist you with that particular area, for example, we are not allowed to counsel as a CPA or as an attorney unless we are in that capacity. We can help direct you to those service providers that can best assist you with your business. Some of the services that we do is that we do a variety of workshops that are both in-person and virtual. If you go to our website at tsbdc.org, which we'll have that link to you later, and I'll have this presentation to Raphael so he can send it to you all. You can find a listing of our trainings that we have going across the state. Many of those are virtual or on demand to where you can attend at your convenience. And then there are also in-person events that you can use as networking opportunities for your business. Primarily what we deliver, though, is our individual counseling. That is free and confidential. And that's where we'll work one-on-one with you with your particular business issue and help guide you on what the next steps will be or who you need to be speaking with. We're a business information center. We have access to information resources and things like that I'll be showcasing with you later in this presentation. And then we also have access to other services. We are well networked with our local communities, business services, our business leaders and other officials, and we can help make connections or help get you moving in the right direction with other areas that we're not able to assist with. Just to give you a kind of an idea of what kind of impact your TSBDC is making, or your small business development centers are making across the state, you'll be able to see these various impacts that we had made in 2022, where we had over $100 million in capital infusion from the clients that we worked with, spent over 11,000 hours working with clients, trained over 12,000, had 15,000 plus jobs supported, and have a strong client satisfaction rating with the clients that we work with. Just going to share with you a few success stories that we've had, and these are directly attached to my center. One individual that we worked with here is a Mr. Craig Charles. He had owned his own barber shop for over a decade and went to get his master barber certification. One of the things that he identified as a problem is that he had to travel over 2 hours to obtain this, and there was no barber training programs in our area. We had many cosmetology schools, but nothing that was specific to a barber. So he came to us with his vision that he wanted to create a barber's college. We provided him startup assistance, assisted him with developing his business plan and financial projections, and then helping assist with getting him financing for his venture. Since that time, he's grown into 3 different locations for his college, and he has also started a podcast where he's in the top 10 ranked through the world on barbers' niched podcasts. He's a phenomenal supporter of our services and making a great and excellent impact in our community. Another individual that we worked with here is Mr. Eduardo Zayas-Bazayan, who had recently acquired Greg's Pizza, an existing restaurant business, several years ago when he had moved into the area. One of the things that was quickly identified is that their marketing wasn't using any type of social media. So we worked with them on social media and marketing training. And through that process, whenever he launched his social media page, he earned over 5,000 followers in his first day on social media, and also received local news coverage on that as well, increasing his visibility. And again, another great supporter of our services, and it is making a great impacts in his community as well. Another one that I'll share with you here is Miss Debbie Smith, owner of U.S. Respiratory. She had a strong background in durable medical equipment sales, and she had left her position and decided that she wanted to start her own. So we worked with her on providing startup assistance, human resource issues, researching on information that had dealt with third-party billing and licensing. And she has moved and created several different locations since doing this, has now become the main competitor for the company that she used to work for, and is a strong supporter of the services that we've provided to her. But this is just a few of our success stories. If you go to our website on tsbdc.org and look at the About page, you will find a whole section of other success stories that have taken place across the state, just to get an idea of the diverse palette of businesses that we've worked with and assisted. One other thing that I'll bring to your attention as well, not only do I serve as the director of the Small Business Development Center, but I also serve as the director to a program that is called Strive, which is Startup Resources Inspiring Veteran Entrepreneurship. This is a program that is housed underneath the umbrella of Syracuse's IVMF program, which is the Institute for Veteran and Military Affairs. But this is a free program that is open to veterans, Reserve and National Guard members, and their spouses. We do this program once a year in person here in East Tennessee. And we take these veterans through an 8-week course of entrepreneurship where they work on developing their business plan, their business pitch, going through different resources, and getting them connected with service providers in the area that can be of assistance to them. This is a great opportunity for veterans and their spouses to get involved in something. So right now we're accepting applications to this program that will start on August 1st. The application deadline is August 1st, but the program will start on September 14th this year and will be held at the VA campus in Johnson City. If anybody would like any information on this, please visit the website. That's etsu.edu/strive. You'll see information on the program and be able to apply there. Or if you'd like to speak to me directly about it, I'd be happy to answer any of your questions on that. So please, if you're interested or know of any veterans that may be interested, please share this program with them. This is something we want to create as much visibility for as possible. What I'm going to do now is just kind of go through some of the resources that we've got access to that can assist your business. The first one I'm going to show you here is a group called SBDCnet. And this allows us to get research from other small business development centers across the nation and be able to get things that are specific to help assist your business. One of the things, if you're a new business owner, what we can do is do a new business research package for you where they will go through and provide you competitor analysis, financial ratios for your business, sample business plans, an idea of some of the startup costs that may be involved. This can be a great tool to kind of help identify things that maybe have been missed through the planning process, or just to help give support to what you've already put in place. We have various other packages that are available for existing businesses as well. That goes from business valuation, a GIS ring study, where we can take a look at a certain geographical area, like 1 mile, 5 miles, or 10 miles from your location, and see what consumer expenditures are taking place. For example, if I was starting an alcoholic beverage store, then I could be able to see, how much are people in that area within that radius spending on alcoholic beverages. They also have an opportunity gap study where they'll show you, what the demand is versus the supply for certain businesses. There's various other packets that also involve franchising, marketing, and inventor areas. So this can be a great tool, and this is something that all of your small business development centers have access to across the state. Another thing that we've got access to here is Reference USA. And Reference USA is kind of a business database service to where we can be able to take a look at snapshots of businesses and be able to see things like their employee size, what their sales volume is, how many locations they have, how many years have they been established or at least in this database. What happens is whenever you go set up your business with your power board, Reference USA gets an indicator that, hey, there's a new business or an existing business that they need to start collecting data on. They then reach out to that business owner to start collecting and verifying that data. And they do this where they verify the data annually. But all of this information is self-reported in by the business owner into the Reference USA system. And just to kind of give you an idea of how powerful this system is, I'm just going to kind of take it out and be able to show you just kind of a hands-on preview here of it. You should be able to see my website screen now. Raphael, can you verify that for me, please?
Yes, we can.
Excellent, thank you. So this database has many different criteria. I'll show you this first, where we can look at businesses, which is the one that we'll jump into first. But we can also take a look at historical performances. There's a jobs and internship section where they look at job postings. Another area that looks at new business development. And there's also an area that's geared towards healthcare. But just to give you kind of an example here, we'll start with the U.S. business example here. Now, if I was looking for a specific business, I can do this across the nation. For example, I could have a client say, hey, I want to see what the snapshot looks like for a business that is operating out of Asheville, North Carolina. And they could give me the business name, the city, the state, Even if they know that who was the owner's first name and last name there, I can pull that data up if it's in the system and be able to share that with them. But that is just the quick search area. For a more broad search, I can go to this advanced search, and you can see that we have various criteria then in which we can search for the business in. We can also choose to include unverified businesses, but your reliability on the data goes down a lot whenever you start including unverified or maybe even closed businesses. The data may not appear as accurate as it should be. So we primarily like to stick with verified, but it just depends on how deep you like to go to the research. But just to give an example here, let's say that we wanted to take a look at coffee shops. So I could select coffee shops, and then let's say that we want to take a look at how many of these coffee shops are located around my business. So I could take my zip code, for example, here, put in a radius. So let's say that I want to know what's happening within 25 miles of my current zip code there. I could even input a specific address if I would like. And then I put the 25 miles in there so I could update my count. It'll tell me that there's 68 records on account, which would be 68 businesses. I hit view result here. It will then give me a list of all of those businesses that are labeled as a coffee shop within that radius. Now for each one of these, we'll just start with this very first one. I can click on this, and all of this can be pulled down into an Excel spreadsheet or other type of database that you may be using there. But it will give me the location info, its SIC and NEXT code, which can be very helpful to view, especially for the contracting in. But then it will go into the data like what I was saying before, where it'll tell you the location size, the sales volume, how many locations and beyond. You may also have a management directory, not always provided, but sometimes the managers or the key contact people's names will also be provided there. You can also take a look at, for some businesses, which is not listed on this one, but for some businesses, it will actually give you a range on what their expenses are for accounting, contract labor, payroll, advertising, and things like that. It will also tell you sales volume. If there was multiple years here that the business had been established, you'd be able to look at the chart and see how those sales volumes have progressed. All of this can be pulled down into an Excel spreadsheet. But then also, too, here at the bottom, you can see what businesses are located nearby this specific business. You can also pull a competitor report on the local businesses. And each one of these I click on will provide that same scorecard sheet that you're seeing now. So, for example, you're seeing this one had 1 to 4 employees, another single location. This one's got 3 years in the database. But this is SBDCnet, and it's a great tool. If you've got a new business and you were looking at opening a certain type and just wanted to see, hey, how many competitors do I have within a certain radius? This can give you a very quick snapshot of what that looks like. So the next one I'm going to show you is a database called ProfitSense. Now, this is a database that we can use for financial analysis. And I'll just kind of show you it on the site. But with ProfitSense, we could run various reports. We can take a look at industry data with company comparisons, take a look at preparing financial projections with these. And if you have a CPA, combining their access to ProfitSense can be a really powerful tool, because some of these things do require a CPA's hand to get really heavy into. But let's just say that we wanted to look at industry data and just wanted to kind of take a look at, for example, we'll do coffee shops again, or we'll just do coffee and tea manufacturing. So I can just take a look at what in Tennessee. We could do various sale ranges, but we'll just leave it as all sale ranges just for this. But what this will show me is the financial ratios and data on what is viewed to be as a healthy performing business in this industry is performing at in the state of Tennessee. Again, this is something we can pull for information from across the nation. But this would be allowing you to be able to see, certain things like, for example, if your sales growth is below, the industry average, or if it's right on, you can be able to take a look at that and see how you're performing in comparison to others. And what this really can do is give you various attack points to take a look at and seeing why or why not are my ratios in alignment with how a healthy performing business is. Keep in mind, Tennessee is a very diverse state. Some areas, for example, Nashville in comparison to a place like Elizabethton, there's going to be a very much difference in population density and activity. So you also have to keep in mind of gearing this as well towards the area and location that you're in. But still, it can kind of give you some attack points on, trying to take a look at various things here with your business. Another one that we have access to, and this one is dependent on the host institution, but this is called IBS World and allows us to get industry reports. But in combination with this, our entire network was just given access to another industry report system that is called Vertical IQ, in which I'll be honest in saying I'm still learning about, but I've been very excited to see what I can get out of this system. But Vertical IQ can help give industry reports and information. So for example, let's say again that I'm looking at coffee shops. If I take a look at this profile here, what it'll do is it'll tell me what the current conditions are for the industry. For example, Fairtrade International will raise its minimum price for coffee to provide a safety net for coffee farmers grappling with high inflation, rising production costs, and erratic market prices. Shipping containers, coffee shops, which appeared on the cafe scene about a decade ago, are proving to be more than a passing trend. It kind of gives you an idea of some of the key trends that are going on. You actually have a tab that is geared towards what the industry trends are and the sales growth. What I really like about this is it goes on to what your banker is looking at as far as funding these types of activities. So you go in and you can see what the credit underwriting and risks are. And a lot of this is what your bank is going to be evaluating as they're evaluating this business for a loan. They're going to be looking at the industry risk factors, things like that, and taking a look at what their considerations are, and as well as the industry risks. These things can be great to review, so you can take a look and have these planned for and addressed in your business plan. And so when these questions and ideas come up when you're discussing this with your lender or investor, you're able to attack each of these areas and show that you've got a plan in place that can help best address this. It also gives some further details about how the firms operate, what their primary revenue drivers are, as well as an industry forecast so you can take a look at what the future is going to be looking like. The last one that I'll share here with you today is our TSBDC training portal. We have now an online training site that is used complementary to our counseling that is housed at tsbdctraining.org. And what this site allows you to do is this is a free registration. You just register on, and this will allow you to go through about 17 different chapters of business that goes from everything from starting your business, writing your plan, financing, accounting. We even have a section on veteran and rural businesses, e-commerce, buying and selling your business, cybersecurity, women and minority owned, intellectual property, and beyond. Each of these sections will have various chapters in it and videos. Many are a quick watch, with some, just depending on the topic, being a little bit longer. But this is something that you can do at your own pace and go through, and then any questions or issues that you come up with, we can work with one-on-one in your individual counseling sessions. So in order to get started with us, if you would just visit our website at tsbdc.org, this is where we will have you do our registration. If you just scroll just a little bit down the page, it'll be this red block that says connect with a consultant. Just select that. You'll select your county and begin the registration process. And then your information will be sent to the TSBDC office that services your area, and they'll work with you on getting your appointment set. Those appointments can take place virtually using a platform called Zoom, or it can take place over the phone or in person. We tried to offer flexibility and convenience with how we are able to provide our services to you. As well as, I would also encourage you, as I mentioned earlier, to review our training events that we have coming through. Again, a lot of these are on demand and virtual. We also offer in-person ones. And I would suggest setting it up to where you check this monthly to see what new trainings and updates have been added to the system, because each month we'll be adding new ones in to keep, and there'll be topics in there from different subject matter experts that could definitely be a benefit to your business. If you just want to take a look and see what center is near you, you can, of course, use this find to kind of see it, take a look and see where your closest center is. But we also have other resources that are available on this site as well that also involve international trade, disaster resources, and things like that. Cybersecurity, trying to find lending partners, and so on. But we do have an entire center that is dedicated to international trade that is based out of Nashville that can work with you, any of you that are looking at possibly exporting or importing things. Beyond that, I'm happy to address any questions, but I thank you for the time and being able to share this presentation. And I know we've got, we've got about 30 minutes here left for questions. So please let me know what you have.
Feel free to unmute yourselves, or you can type in your questions in the chat.
Good morning. Can you hear me all?
Yuda, good morning. It's good to see you again.
Good morning, Mark. I put in the chat, I reposted the links that you had in your slides. And I'm partial to the TSBDC operation. I used to be a colleague of Mark, and I can't highly enough recommend that you work with an SBDC no matter where you are. It is tremendous, the value that you get in the experience. I mean, how long have you been doing that, Mark?
Gosh, this is my 12th year.
See? And just the resources you showed, how much that would cost you to obtain that on your own, if you even had access, for example, even just profit sense. So I cannot highly enough recommend that you engage with the SBDC. They work with people who want to start a business, but their heavy focus is on to help your existing businesses grow, thrive, add jobs, and just get bigger and bigger. And there's no limitation how often you can use them. So there's some questions in here, Mark, about the slides.
Yes, absolutely. I will definitely be getting these to Raphael for him to send out to each of you on that, so you will definitely have access to these slides. Thank you, Huda, for the positive statements there. We definitely miss your work with us, but we at least get the benefit from you being with Apex. She is one of the main counselors with Apex, the Procurement and Technical Assistance Center. So anything that involves the government contracting areas, her group can knock it out of the park for you. And they've got some great resources and things that they can assist with as well.
And what you were saying too is like that you're a connector in a large part too, and we all really work closely together in this ecosystem, if you will, because all of our goal is the same, to help you succeed. It's that simple.
That's it, 100%. Our goal is to help you succeed. We're financially taken care of through our funding and how that's structured. So we have we don't have a financial bias with your business on helping you succeed. And if we see any red flags or issues, we're not afraid to bring that to your attention, just so that that's something that you can help take care of as you go through that process.
Absolutely. And thank you to Go-DBE and Raphael. They are tireless supporters of you all small businesses. And I applaud you for coming to these meetings, attending and learning about different ways that can help you grow your business. So thank you, Raphael.
Thank you. So we do have some questions popping in the chat. Gwendolyn is asking, are there any restrictions that keep you from helping a small business?
No, there's not. Now, one of the things that we are not allowed to do, where we are a tax-funded entity, is that we do not work with nonprofits. We will help guide nonprofits to the nonprofit service provider that's in the area, but that is one limitation, is that we are not allowed to work with nonprofit businesses. So there is that.
Great. Bhavani, he's asking if the PowerPoint will be available. Yes, so I have pinned our In the Know website. This is where we host all of our recorded meetings and where you will be able to find the presentation also attached to it. So it's pinned right now in the comment section of the meeting. And then we have Ms. Robertson. She's asking, where can we find solicitations on the site? Are you referring to solicitations as contracts, Ms. Reese? Or what type of solicitations? And then Mr. Bhavani, he's asking, how do we get access to the resources and the websites? How do we post the jobs?
Well, as far as the getting access to the resources in the website, your small business development center, getting connected with them and their counselors will be able to get you access to being able to use these resources. They're kind of the filter to the access of all that. Your counselor would be able to work with you and be able to use these databases to help your unique business move forward on that. Now, for any type of job postings, hiring, things like that, they can also help advise you in that area on what outlets that you would need to be utilizing.
Great. Ms. Linda Ballard, she's asking, will there be access to IBIS World?
So all of our centers have access to Vertical IQ. IBS World is something that we have access to through our university. Where we have just adopted Vertical IQ, I'm not 100%, but I doubt that we'll go to the IBS World route. It's very complementary to each other. Both are showing industry reports and forecasting and trends and things that are going on with your specific industry. But Vertical IQ goes a little bit more in depth, and it really adds on to that banking piece that I was showing about what you can expect in the underwriting and the credit risks that IBS World just doesn't even touch on there. And from what I've seen, I'm really enjoying what I'm getting out of Vertical IQ. But for me, I'm able to pull both types of reports, industry reports, but some of your centers may not be able to access that IBS world, and I'm not sure how that will proceed, especially if vertical IQ ends up being the primary thing that we all embrace here.
Great. Mr. Bhavani is asking also if I believe he's asking if the services would also include how to market our services, meaning how to market their business services.
Oh, absolutely. You know, one of our counselors can go through and take a look at what you're currently marketing. You know, help evaluate on what areas that need to be improved. Can give help and suggestions on different things. And each one of our host institutions provides us access to different types of resources that are available at our universities. So it's worth checking to see maybe there's a possible student team or something that they can be using your business as a project to where they get some experience working with, your business, but yet you get the benefit of having some free labor. Now, you always have to, realize you're working with a student team. So some were going to be more diligent than others as far as that goes. But still, this can be something that helps identify that one, special step that was missed or a new direction. For example, I had a business work with one of the MBA's capstone projects to where they went through and tried to identify new industries or trends that they could be using with their current product. And they got some great feedback and information on that. So, it's nothing like getting a fresh set of eyes in there, especially, too, if you're looking at the marketing piece. I know myself being older, I struggle with sometimes the new marketing technologies that are coming out, especially in the social media space, because, we've got the new Threads app that all of a sudden just came out that's supposed to be a Twitter competitor. For me to jump on that right now and learn it, it's going to take me a little bit of time. But where these students come in and they've already using it, they may be able to give some really fresh ideas on how to use the most current things. But overall, yes, we can assist with marketing.
Okay, so Ms. Reese Robertson, she was asking about solicitations like contracts. Ms. Robertson, if you're referring to the state of Tennessee government contracts, those are found in our procurement opportunities website.
I'll post the website for you.
Okay, I just did. It's the Go-DBE current procurement opportunities. That's where you'll find state government contracts, state of Tennessee government contracts. And also your liaison at Go-DBE, if you're already certified with us, they can also assist you with that as well.
Absolutely. For contract solicitations, you've got Go-DBE, and you also have as well your Apex group.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Bhavani is asking, will you be able to provide the counselor contacts by email?
Yes, we do offer, and I should have mentioned that before, there is counseling that takes place via email as well. Again, we try to provide it as conveniently as possible. So email consultations can definitely take place.
Okay, great. And I believe Miss Patricia has a question. She's raised her hand, so feel free to ask your question, Miss Patricia.
It's a very simple question. I'm trying to save the chat as I know how to do in Zoom, but I've tried to Control A and copy it all. It's just not happening for me.
Oh, I see.
So I'm copying out each piece and putting it on a Word document.
Okay, well, remember you will have access to this in our In the Know website. If you are already certified with Go-DBE, we can also assist you. But our In the Know website will have the recorded presentation and also the PowerPoint information for today's meeting. You're welcome. Ms. Latha, she's asking, can we get help to check out the contracts from private companies? So as far as Go-DBE goes, since we're state government, we don't really have access to, private industry contracts in that sense. I know Apex also handles with government contracts. If you're dealing with private industry, you're kind of you kind of have to look at what each company is doing because they may have different processes depending on the company who you're trying to work with. Um, but if it's a general question, maybe Apex can assist you as counseling uh, regarding private industry contracts.
This would be something that I would be definitely getting in contact with an individual like Yuta and getting them connected with her to review. But, with any contract as well, for some of the legalities, there may need to be an attorney pulled in at some point just for review as well.
Great. Any other questions? We still have plenty of time, so feel free to ask any questions you may have about the TSBDCs. Okay, so I don't see any questions or anyone asking any questions on. Okay, we got a question from Gwendolyn. She's asking, to be considered for funding, what are the qualifications?
Are you referring to loan funding?
Yes, I believe she said yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I mean, your basic qualifications really start with your credit score. They're generally looking for a credit score around 700 or higher. Now, you will have lower credit scores that are still acceptable, but that can be also something to where your interest rate and your term may be impacted by that. You generally, when lower credit scores viewed as more risk, so that would increase interest and maybe lower term size and the flexibility of that. The second thing that they're going to be looking for is what you're taking on as part of the financial risk. So they're going to be essentially looking for you to come to the table with around 20% of whatever it is the funding that you're looking for. They're going to see that you can bring in at least 20% of that. Sometimes they will accept down to 15 or even 10% of that. But it kind of goes as in before, as like the situation with a low credit score, the lower the amount that you can bring to the table may impact your interest rate or your term on that. The third thing they're going to be looking at with this is going to be your collateral that's involved here. They're going to want to see that there is a collateral that equals 100% of the amount that you're asking for in funding. That's going to be a big thing that's going to need to be tackled with that. The fourth thing is really going to be put into another bucket of having your business plan that showcases what you're using that funding for. So having a detailed list of showcasing what each item that you're asking for in funding is broken down into, and being able to show, hey, this is where every dollar of this funding is going. That's something that you want to avoid putting padding on or anything like that. You want to keep it true to the funding amount. You can ask for working capital in that process, but that is generally, as a rule of thumb, geared to maybe about 3 to 6 months of operations. And that would have to align with your financial projections that are a part of your business plan. A few other items that they'll include with that is your personal financial statement, where they're going to be looking at what your current debt to income ratio is. Just ensuring that there is going to be ability to pay back the loan in the event that the venture is unsuccessful. The other thing that they're going to be looking at as well is your past 3 years of tax return. And I believe that is pretty much the base level of what you're going to be looking at for most funding in situations that involve a lender. But this is something, though, that your SBDC counselor can work with you directly on. They can also work with you on getting your plan together and things like that. Now, we will not write your plan for you, but we will help provide guidance to your plan on that process. We'll help kind of give you feedback. We'll review that plan and tell you what areas need to be optimized to ensure that you've got success when you're having that meeting. Also, too, if you're needing introductions to lenders, different things like that, we've got connections with each of the lenders there. We are not a loan factory, but so if there's things that don't make sense, if there's things that need to be addressed or red tape around that, we're again ready to go through that with you, because we want to ensure that when you're making that jump off the cliff into a loan situation or anything like that, that you're comfortable with the landing spot.
Okay, I guess I have another question also. Do you have to have established business credit in order to pursue a business loan, or should you try it without the business credit?
No, I mean, most businesses will not have business credit in place. Especially your newer businesses and startups, it will all be geared toward your personal credit. And that's, a majority of funding situations, that will be an anchor that they'll be looking at as your personal.
Thank you.
You're welcome, because each of your loans will require a personal guarantee. There's not a situation that I can think of that it doesn't involve that.
And we have a question from Derek from K3 Enterprise. He had raised his hand. Feel free to ask your question.
Well, I left it in the chat. If you can hear me.
We can.
Okay. Yeah, I left the question in the chat. Let me just go back. It was pretty simple. The question I asked is, can you explain once again, once we accept the contracts and complete the contract, how do we get paid for those services?
Well, it depends who your contract is with. Are you referring for state government contracts?
Yes. State.
Okay. Well, there are several ways. Depending on the contract, the state of Tennessee government uses a platform called Edison. That's the supplier portal. If you're dealing with the universities, state universities, they're gonna pay through their portals. Depending on what the contract is also, if it's an informal purchase, like a project that's below $10,000, the state may pay the business with a purchasing card transaction or check. So it just depends on what contract it is, if it is a contract or if it's a purchase. But as far as the state government, we use a system called Edison. And then hope that answered that question.
Yes, sir, it
Aiken,
does.
great, thank you. Aiken has a question. Does Mark have a direct email he can share to contact him? And I believe he wrote it in the chat already, so thank you.
Yeah, it's right there in the chat for you.
Okay, any other questions? We still have time. Okay, so I don't see any questions in the chat or hear anything. So just some final information for you all. Keep in mind this information will be available in our website. We should have it posted by the end of this week. So check on our website, our In the Know website. We also have our previous In the Know meetings there. If you are currently certified with the State of Tennessee Governor's Office of Diversity as a diversity business enterprise, you do have access to this information as well. And our next In the Know meeting will be in August, so be on the lookout for that invitation. For those businesses that are not certified with Go-DBE yet, feel free to reach out to us. We are here to assist you as well as the TSBDCs and Apex Accelerator as well. So I'm just gonna turn it over to Mark. Any final remarks?
I'd just like to say thank you all for the opportunity today to present, and thank you to Raphael and the team over at the Governor's Office of Diversity. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us. The Small Business Development Center here is ready to assist, and we look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. Raphael, thank you. Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great
Thank
meeting.
you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Have a
Yes.
great rest of your day.